Philadelphia Eagles took care of business against their Week 8 NFC East rival, the New York Giants, with a final score of 38-20, and they improved to 6-2 heading into the Week 9 bye. This was a game with some scrutiny because A.J. Brown was ruled out with a hamstring injury and center Cam Jurgens was ruled out with a knee injury. But the pleasant surprise was the running game and the offensive line effort. Also, Howie Roseman made some trades this past week. Does he have more trades up his sleeve? What do these trades mean for the current players on the roster? Tap in with me. Welcome to Fourth and Shit. Saquon Barkley finally got going on the ground for 150 yards rushing. His longest run of the game came on the second play of the game when he took off for a 65-yard touchdown run. Eagles fans all over were waiting for Saquon to look like Saquon again. Now, there was a general feeling like he was getting close to a breakout game, but the effort of the offensive line and inconsistencies for the offensive coordinator hindered that a ton. Here's what offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo had to say about the run game against the Giants.
I think when you look through the whole season up to this point, we've been close on a few things, and just continue to work in the direction of knowing we want to run the ball and complement that with the other things that we have going on. It's just kind of a matter of time. The guys did a really, really good job of just executing and doing everything they can to prepare for the different looks we might get. So it was good. It was a good thing to kind of have it go the way it went and build to this point. We knew we were really, really close, and it's exciting to see. It adds another element to our offense, obviously.
How much of those heavy packages, when you put Fred as sort of the extra tight end, how much does that help get some of those double team blocks?
Well, I think when you do stuff like that, right, you just add another element to the offense. So when you bring in a different personnel package, you're opening up to what could be, a variety of different things, whether it's play action passes, runs, dropbacks. So when you do that, you can kind of put the defense in a different spot to where now you're saying like, hey, you have to prepare for this. We're going to have something for you. So I think it definitely helps the offense as a whole, not just the run game, but it gives you a different dynamic. It's not something we've done, so it's kind of been a new thing for us going forward.
One interesting thing I would like to point out about the running game against the Giants, Eagles brought in Fred Johnson in as a sixth offensive lineman. Now, we saw how effective Fred Johnson was against the Rams. Maybe we'll see more of these six offensive lineman sets in the future. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Tank Bigsby? We might have a legit running back too with Tank. 104 yards rushing, 9 carries. I think his most impressive run of the day came on that 2nd and 31 play in the fourth quarter when he rushed for 29 yards to pick up the first down. First time since 2011 that the Eagles had 2 100-plus yard rushers from their running backs in the same game. Now, this is what we all like to see with the running game: efficiency. Now, can we talk about Uno? I think what frustrates me the most about the criticism surrounding Jalen Hurts is that most of it is baseless.
Are you serious? I'm dead serious.
What do I mean? Jalen Hurts is currently amongst the league leaders in passing touchdowns with 15. He has 20 total touchdowns in the NFL right now, which is second behind Patrick Mahomes. Oh yeah, and he only has 1 interception thrown this season.
That boy is good.
Jalen continued his hot streak against the Giants as well. 15 for 20 for 179 yards, 4 touchdowns, 141.5 passer rating. On throws 10 plus yards, Jalen was 6 for 9, 140 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns. Listen, y'all, Hurts is playing outstanding ball with inconsistent play with his offensive line and spotty play calling with his offensive coordinator. Look, I really don't want to sound redundant, but Jalen Hurts is playing elite level football right now, and he should be in the MVP conversation. The Eagles have been a passing team 59% of the time this season so far, compared to last season when they were 58.1 run first and 41.9 pass. Now, I think we all can understand this to a degree, and that is because Saquon Barkley was just inhuman last season, and teams really couldn't stop the run no matter what and how hard they tried, which then led to ridiculous claims that Jalen Hurts was carried to a Super Bowl. The Eagles didn't throw the ball because they didn't have to. Why throw the ball and take the ball out of Barkley's hands to prove a hot take point? What can the critics say about Jalen this season? Let's talk about the defensive performance from Week 8. We all remember the Eagles' defense getting their teeth kicked in their first matchup against the Giants this season. But let's keep some important things in mind. Jalen Carter was a game-time scratch due to a sudden heel injury, and Quinyon Mitchell left the game early due to a hamstring injury. Not having the two best defensive and impactful players in the NFL for a game could most definitely sway the outcome. The Eagles also did not have Nakobe Dean at that time, but things were a little bit different this time around. The Eagles did benefit some due to the injury to Cam Scadaboo, and we all wish him a speedy recovery. But what stood out during this game compared to the last was their ability to keep Dart in the pocket for most of the afternoon. The Eagles finished the game with 5 sacks. Now, even though the Eagles did have some improvements during the Week 8 matchup, I still think they need some help on the edges, which leads me to this upcoming trade deadline. Now, we all know Howie Roseman is always looking to improve his football roster, and he did that on Wednesday, October 29th, when he traded John Mechie III and a 2027 6th-round pick to the New York Jets for Michael Carter II and a 2027 7th-round pick. I think the Joe Douglas connection got a hold of this one. Joe Douglas is currently the senior personnel director with the Philadelphia Eagles. Prior to returning to Philly, he was the general manager for the Jets from 2019 to 2024 and drafted Michael Carter II in 2021. Now, if you're like me, this trade calls you to pause a little bit because Carter is a nickel, and the Eagles already have one of the best nickel cornerbacks in the NFL in Cooper DeJean. But could this mean we see more Cooper on the outside with certain matchups? Here's what defensive coordinator Vic Fangio had to say about Cooper DeJean and his versatility on the defense.
No, he's we got very lucky that he lasted till the middle of the second round. And I think the reason he did, because he only played corner in college, at least his last year. And I don't think everybody was sure, was he a first round corner, second round corner, third round corner. I don't think the league as a whole had a feel for his versatility because he didn't play it in college. And he's really a damn good nickel, probably one of the best nickels in the league. And we're playing him at corner in the base. He could play safety if we needed him to. He's a defensive back, but really he's just a good football player.
Howie Roseman kept the trades coming by acquiring cornerback Jair Alexander and a 2027 7th-round pick from the Baltimore Ravens for a 2026 6th-round pick. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't Jair Alexander smoke Gouda? Maybe. He was listed as a healthy scratch 5 times this season already. But maybe Fangio can turn back the clock, and maybe a change of scenery will do him some good. I also believe he's probably better than Adoree Jackson in his current state. We will see. I don't think Howie is done dealing either. Breaking news. Now, at the time of recording this video, the news surrounding the Eagles trade with Miami had not happened yet, but here are the details. The Eagles acquire outside linebacker Jaelan Phillips for a 2026 3rd-round draft pick. Phillips is considered an immediate impact player, and this is an extremely good trade for Howie Roseman and the Birds. If his health holds up, the Eagles pass rush will be back in business. Now remember, Vic Fangio coached Phillips in Miami, and Phillips played pretty well until the injuries took over. So let's see how this trade holds up for Philly. There are reports out there that are linking the Eagles to outside linebackers Bradley Chubb and Jaelan Phillips from Miami. Both have played under defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Can't rule out Draymond Jones either, who was coached by Fangio in Denver and played under defensive line coach Clint Hurdle in Seattle. We also have the Joe Douglas connection again. Jermaine Johnson from the Jets could be dealt before November 4th, and there have been links to him in the Eagles as well. We as Eagles fans will be monitoring this trade deadline very closely. So don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned to the channel. The Eagles will be getting back a few key players from injury and injury reserve before their Monday Night Football matchup against the Green Bay Packers. The Eagles will be getting back outside linebacker Nolan Smith, cornerback Jacorian Bennett, and from the retirement list, defensive end Brandon Graham. Now, Graham's intense leadership on the field and in the locker room will be much needed. And on the offensive side, and on a lesser note, wide receiver A.J. Brown and center Cam Jurgens should be ready to play heading into Week 10. Now, let's keep some things in mind with a lot of these players returning. This should not prevent Howie Roseman from improving the defense. The Eagles need to fortify the defensive line for this upcoming stretch on the schedule. A lot of mobile quarterbacks, y'all, they have to face, so it would be wise to strengthen and add necessary depth to the defensive line. And like I always like to say, a good defensive line helps out a secondary tremendously. We also pray to see Sirianni and Kevin Patullo build off the successes from the previous game and continue them in the following week. Listen, y'all, I want y'all to enjoy this bye week, aka stress-free football. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all Eagles related news. And until next time, fly Eagles fly.